We've seen a huge decline in piracy over the past few years because to the emergence of affordable streaming services like Netflix, Disney+, and Hulu. Torrenting is undoubtedly the key that makes all of this feasible for those who continue to indulge in piracy, though. If you've never heard of torrenting, it's basically a file distribution technique that makes it very challenging to combat piracy. With torrents, you get a file from a large number of users who have already downloaded it, as opposed to a single central server. So, file-sharing websites like the Pirate Bay and Kick-Ass Torrents only need to host the torrenting links that link pirates from around the world. The hosts of the website only need to upload the links to a replacement website, which takes up a maximum of a few terabytes if the hosts of a particular piracy website are shut down by the law. The exabytes of data related to the links themselves do not need to be moved. In other words, large websites like the Pirate Bay are able to shift websites with such ease that it is hard to shut them down. Torrents enable this ongoing website movement. As one might expect, Bram Cohen, the inventor of torrents, is not exactly popular with law enforcement officials and those who own copyright. Meanwhile, they are unable to change the situation. So, let me tell you about Bram Cohen and how he unintentionally created the heart of piracy. Looking back, Bram was born in Manhattan, New York, on October 12, 1975. The fact that his mother was a teacher and his father worked as a computer scientist suggests that the family's financial situation wasn't too dire. Bram stood apart from other children from a very young age. He was good at stimulating competitions and had quite mature interests. For instance, he was attempting to master the programming language BASIC when he was just 5 years old. Don't forget that 1980 was the year when Bram was 5. Even today, it would be astonishing for a 5-year-old to study computer science, but considering how much exposure kids have to technology today, it would make a lot more sense. Back in 1980, the average person didn't even know why they needed a computer in the first place. In addition to having a passion for programming, Bram also took part in a number of events, including the USA Math Olympiad. Despite his propensity for academics, Bram didn't seem to be all that enthusiastic about going to school. He didn't keep earning degrees. Rather, he attended the University of Buffalo, left as soon as he started receiving employment offers, and hasn't looked back since. Throughout the 1990s, Bram's career wasn't all that steady. Although it's unclear if Bram was aiming to hit it big with the startup or if he couldn't qualify for a position at a major tech firm like Microsoft or Cisco, he was forced to move jobs frequently as each venture he worked for failed. Even while the startup industry wasn't too nice to Bram, it did provide him some original ideas, especially with this last position at MOJO Nation. The goal of MOJO Nation was to develop a decentralized system for securely transmitting and storing private information. In order to download the complete file, you would need the cooperation of all the machines. This way, a hacker couldn't simply gain access to one of these computers and take the entire file. Encrypted portions of the original file might be distributed among numerous computers in this way. It's unclear if this decentralized encryption technique ever gained popularity, but Bram was inspired by it and thought it would be ideal for file sharing. In April 2001, Bram Cohen quit MOJO Nation to bring his file sharing idea to life. Over the next year, he programmed the first BitTorrent client, which ran on Python. Bram completed a beta version of the software that worked well, but he knew that the key to success was not the program itself but getting people to see it. He worked with his roommate Len Sasman to create a tech conference called CodeCon. Since then, even people as notable as Sergey Brin and Elon Musk have presented at CodeCon. But Bram and BitTorrent were the stars of the first CodeCon. This presentation allowed Bram to create some hype within the tech world, but his target audience was not the tech community. In the summer of 2002, Bram offered adult films for free on BitTorrent, which was surprisingly effective. However, Bram did not want to be known as an adult film distributor, so after building a solid base of users, he stopped offering these films. With BitTorrent, no single person had to host the files. Instead, hundreds or even thousands of users could host them, and given that average people aren't charged for the bandwidth usage, this was basically free from most hosts. As users started to realize how easily such files could be shared using BitTorrent, the program quickly became the soul of piracy. Given BitTorrent's major role in piracy, it's not surprising that it was a massive target for prosecutors. However, they couldn't charge BitTorrent or Bram for copyright infringement because Bram made it clear that he did not create BitTorrent for piracy. His main goal was to simply allow users to share and download large files cheaper, faster, and more efficiently than ever before. It just so happens that the community started using it for illicit activities. So, given that there was no conspiracy to commit copyright infringement, prosecutors couldn't do anything. Bram's moral stance on the piracy issue is that copyright holders need to get alive and stop going after every medium that inadvertently enables piracy. He argues that if copyrighted content was offered in an affordable and easily accessible way, people would have no reason to pirate content. This does make sense given what happened to the music industry in the 2010s. It was extremely common to pirate music to put on MP3 players and iPods, but with the explosive growth of YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music, music piracy has significantly declined. The use of sketchy websites to download copyrighted material can put users at risk of getting a virus. In 2005, Bram Cohen, the creator of the BitTorrent protocol, made a deal with 7 American studios to remove all piracy-related links from the BitTorrent website. This led to the rise of other pirate websites like the Pirate Bay and Kickass Torrents. However, copyright holders have also targeted the hosts, known as seeders, that make the content available to pirates. Many founders within the piracy community have faced charges and owe millions to copyright holders. Bram, however, has been able to stay on the legal side of the law and has moved on to other projects, such as his cryptocurrency company, which he founded in 2017, Shia Network, which aims to move away from proof of work and onto proof of stake, basically eliminating the need for miners. Shia launched their coin in May of 2021 and has been experiencing a decline. However, Bram has been living a free and untouched life. Although, despite his success with BitTorrent, none of Bram's other projects have achieved similar levels of success. We bring you more tech stories and news from Tech and Butter. Remember to leave a like and hit the subscribe button. See you on our next video.